Welcome back to Stasis, Geek. Now, I was going to do this completely pre-recorded. My walkthrough through all the different genres of movies, etc., etc. Then I got to horror, and to be honest, horror's not my jam. Let's just say that. I found it really difficult to pick ones that are truly horror. Let's say that, because the ones I like, what I would class as horror, isn't horror. I keep on saying horror. So I was like, sod it. Let's go live. And if anybody wants to jump in and give their two takes, give their two takes. Because there's going to be a mixture of what people class as a horror and kind of other genres mixed into it. Because you got so many. You got kind of thriller horror, psychological horror, slasher. Now, before I said that, I don't like a slasher movie. Yeah, if it's blood, guts, gore, I don't find them very interesting. I just find them a bit of a bore. Like, if you could take Saw, I didn't mind the first movie, and then I just got bored, so I stopped, because it just turned into that kind of hostile kind of thing, where it's not horror, it's just... So, yeah, so there were so many different ones that I kind of wanted in there. Like, I like a comedy horror. Not like spoof horror, over the top comedy. Hey, Abe. You can help me with this, Abe, then. But like, I like a zombie movie. Not really. I wouldn't class them as horror. Like Alien. Is Alien horror or is it sci-fi? Monsters in it, just like that. It's just weird. So what we're gonna do is I've got my top 10, and let's see who agrees and who not, because there's a mixture. These are ones that I've never got scared in a horror. Now, there's going to be a lot missing because I've not put in any Asian ones. They're awesome. If I had to go are a scary movie, not scary movie, it's going to be like the Japanese versions, like the Korean horrors, like The Ring, like that. It's going to be those kind of where it's like, oh, but that's like, is it horror or is it psychological? It's kind of weird. It's like the original... I suppose like Candyman. Yeah, it's not really slasher. It's not. It's like again. So I was like, oh, I don't know one. Yeah, Terminator. Right, Abe. Is it a horror? Is it sci-fi? It's got somebody literally going out to annihilate everybody. Kind of terminate them. But we're gonna go. First of all, just gonna jump in here, and we're gonna do it with my first one. Now, my first one is Now, this is gonna sound a bit mean. But when I give you the story, it's because I'm not scared of... I suppose it's a creature horror. It's not a monster horror. The only reason I like this is because my sister was terrified of it. Absolutely terrified of this arachnid. And it's like arachnophobia. I remember watching this and I found it quite funny in a way. Now, this is where my sense of humour, because I could see the absolutely petrifying horror in my sister's face. This is like 90s. So, yeah, I'm young, but I can still appreciate this movie. And it's great. This one is good because if you have a fear of any spiders or creepy crawlies, this film isn't for you. It's definitely not for you, but I like it because I can't be like, there's a mutation with the spiders, isn't there? But it's literally in the middle of like nowhere, and kind of the spiders get into a barn, and it all goes over the top bad. And it's got Jeff Daniels in it, so it's a bit of fun. So it's got some good actors in this, but I just remember it being like it's creepy. It's not horror, is it? It's like so it's kind of that this is it is a horror. It is, because it's but it's a creepy horror, because most people have a phobia. I suppose if you take them all, the top one would be, I suppose, spiders, and then fear of falling. It's that, So this one was there only because I'm probably just mean. I just remember going, let's watch this again. Oh, no. But my sister was very much that I'm going to watch it, even though it scares me. Yeah, nighttime nightmares, probably not the greatest, but I don't care about spiders. But I found it, it's a creepy movie, not a scary movie. So that's fine, yeah. It's not, I have to rewatch. I would love to rewatch this with my girlfriend because she's terrified of spiders. In the bath, you have to get out. Woo, cup. You know, like that. But yeah, it's good. So yeah, it's one of mine. It's just there because it kind of makes me laugh and it's kind of creepy, and that's what you're gonna get out of my horror things, because I just don't like I like a fun horror with a bit of comedy. It's gonna be sci-fi. It's gonna be comedy. So the first lot are kind of similar, but the next one, okay, this one is a bit. There's a couple with this actor. Now, it is horror. It is. But also, it is a lot of comedy. And I love this movie. I loved it. When I first saw it, I was like, this is brilliant. It's a B movie. I guess in you class it's a B movie. But it's brilliant. And it's Bubba Hotep. I love this movie. I love it. And it's got the best sexiest B actor of all time, Bruce Campbell. So that's it. But the concept of it is great. If nobody's seen it, just very, very simple. Bruce Campbell is Elvis, the true Elvis. Yeah. What happened was if memory serves me well, he wanted time off. Everything was getting a bit too stressful with him, so he wanted to lead a normal life. So he managed to find a Elvis impersonator that looked exactly like him. Unfortunately, the impersonator had a bit of a bad ticker, and he liked his burgers. So that's where the crossover happens. It's great. That little concept is that. But it also has, I can't remember the actor's name in it, is a black JFK. And you're like, what? And that's what it is, because these are getting old. They're old now, and they're in a retirement home. And there's this guy who is John Kennedy. But what he done, the CIA, to get rid of him, because they didn't want to kill off a president, they dyed his skin black. Okay, there's the concept. So these two people believe they are Elvis and JFK. Yeah? But something goes wrong in the senior retirement home, let's say that. I'm guessing it's a like Egyptian mummy, an actual mummy whose only way they can survive is sucking the soul, and I believe they suck the soul out of their butts. Yeah, he's like a butt-eating zombie Egyptian. But the scary bits in it is because they're so like what would happen in a senior like retirement home. It's brilliant. So it's a funny one, but it is got scary bits. That's why I think it does class under the horror, because the funny bits are accidentally funny. Yeah, they are. It's not a setup. It's literally they are funny because it's the Elvis JFK. Yeah, the kind of eating souls out your bum zombie thing. Yeah, it's great. So I love this. If nobody has ever seen this, I would always go, that's my recommendation. That is it. Boom, go. Recommendation. A to M soul sucking. Yeah, it's a bit. Exactly. How can you not like it, Abe? How can you not like this? So yeah, horror. I'm gonna go. I'm still classing it as horror. You know, you can see where I'm going with these. This is where when I went to horror, I was like, you know what? It's not my jam. But yeah, it's Bubba Hotep. If you've never watched it, this is one. If anybody goes, oh, what are you saying? It would be more apparent to recommend this than I would say some sci-fi things, because I think this is literally is a must. It is a must for me that you must watch it. So that is number 2. Now the next one is creatures again. Maybe I've got creatures and zombies and soul sucking out somewhere on my head. But the next one, I like it. It's creatures from outer space that can eat anything, and it's critters. You can see what I liked. This is I was just like, I'm going to do what I liked. Now, when I was younger, I remember this being quite scary. Now it's not. It's more comedic. Yeah, it's up there with the like comedy thing. But at the time, it's actually quite frightening. As a kid, I remember this being out. There could be something there, you know, under your bed, gnawing away on your ankles, like if you put your feet down. But I like this. This is It's silly. It's pure silly bit of horror. Now, they have done a span of these movies, and I don't know how that even got there. Because, yeah, there's critters in space, you know, and it gets a bit far-fetched. And I would leave it, critters thing, only, I believe, this is that. I'm sure Leonardo DiCaprio, young, did one. I'm sure that if anybody can prove that on IMDb, I'm sure he is in one of those, I think number 3. Maybe he's even in the one that goes out of space. But I just remember it scaring me when I was a kid. So that's why it's in it. And it being cool. Yeah, you know, like when the hunters come down and all that really cool one. So it's a classic. Yeah, it's a classic. There you go. It's a classic, see? And I just like it. I could watch this now and it would still entertain me. And that's why it's there. And it's, yeah. So, and I love the bit. I always remember, like, I'm sure it's either in this one or number 2. But they do, like, when they do, the aliens come down and they're faceless. And they have to look at something to get, like, the perfect max generation. And one of them does I'm sure it's a Playboy or something like, or but it's centerfold. But they've got the staple still stuck in, like, because that's where the staple was on the bod, like in the picture. Well, it's about time. I know, Sandy. Yeah, I know. Well, that's why I was just saying. I had to do it. I'm doing it live, interact, because it's just, you know, it's not there. Now, from the classic. Now, this one, I'm guessing it's going to be a psychological horror, but it's more very psychological thriller. But it has got that. And this is probably the only one that is, I'm guessing it's the most slasher movie I've got, but it's because of the psychological element to it, I'm guessing. So it sings. Oh, you're speeding up. Should we wait? Should we wait till you catch up, Sandy? I'm going to take that heat off. Oh, that was hot. But the next one, yeah, this is the thing. Now, I remember watching this. I was like, this is a good concept. This is a good concept. And they've done other ones like the Mega, like, and other like things like, and it doesn't work. It worked because of the interaction with the characters, and it's Cube. I like this movie. I thought it was really like quite like, it plays with your mind. That spoilers, if never seen it, go head over. That if they stayed where they were, they would have been perfectly fine. that is the concept. That's it. But they were like they end up, all these people who believe they have no I suppose connection with each other, come into like one cube. They're in a bigger cube and the cubes move, so they're trying to find their way out. And certain cubes have like booby traps. Yeah, so it's kind of, they have to work out the puzzles, and it's the autistic guy who's in there. They think they can do it, but it's not. So they think there's always these numbers plates, and they think they have to queue, and it gets like more about not just the goriness of each cube and what's happening, because you're very like, oh, when they jump down onto the platform, I suppose it's either going to be yay or nay. So I like this. This is probably the only one that is, yeah, this is I'm guessing the most slasher one I've got up there. So, but that's it. So it's there because I really like it, and it's not a great movie, but I like it. So this is one of my recommendations. If you've never seen it, it is good. It's very, yeah, it's character driven, this one, because even with the blood, they're all, how it connects and how the little twist at the end, I like it. So that's good. Yeah. So yeah, the Cube. Yeah. Next one. I'm guessing this is going to be a, yeah, I'm guessing it is. Cube is like the original, yeah, before Sword. Yeah, it is because it's not over bloody, but it has those elements. The next one, I'm going to guarantee Abe likes this 100%, and I like it. Dog Soldiers. I like this. This is great. Werewolves. Yeah, this is probably one of the few werewolves ones I'm like, this was done well. And it has got that very B-movie feel around it. It does feel like you're watching a B-movie, but it's really well done, really well written, and the acting is really good from everyone on the soldier side. So easy way to love it. There you go. I knew you would, Abe. I knew you would. Soldiers on. I think that I can't remember where they are. I'm guessing it's. I'm going to go for Wales, but I'm not sure. I can't remember whereabouts they are. Might have been the Highlands. Anyway, they're out in the middle of nowhere on maneuvers, training, exercise, whatever, and they literally start getting hunted by werewolves, and they end up in to defend themselves. They get to like a house or a shack, and they don't realise this is their home base, the werewolves' home base. So it goes a bit. This is like a good like monster one, but it's good, like everything on it, and it's like how it's shot, because this is where the B movie comes in. The werewolves don't look great, but the way they shoot it in certain aspects, it's like you don't have to see them. And when you do see them, you only see like, rah! So it's really good. So it's a bit very fast paced. It starts off quite slow, but it interacts that character that what's the best way to call them? The right soldiers and then the knob cheese soldiers. Only way you can say it. The ones who are going to, you don't want to play on, and the other ones. So it comes on. If you've never seen it, it is a good. You have to class. I'm guessing you're going to have to class it as a B movie, but I do like this kind of genre. It's kind of, if I wanted to watch a horror, I'm going to sit and plot one of these on, either zombie, stupid vampire one, or werewolf one. But this is a good British one. Let's say that. Yeah. So it's a must. Dog Soldiers. That's it. I don't even know when it was out. I'm actually going to look. It's got to be 2002. I thought it was earlier. I thought it was a 90s one. But there you go. But yeah. Scottish. Is there in the Scotland Islands? I think my entire horror experience was very limited. Yeah. I was going to put in, sadly, some oldie-timey ones, like, like the classic ones, like a really, cheesy black and white ones. But then I was like, oh, they're like monster flicks, aren't they? Like the back ones are monster flicks, so it's good. 4 minutes behind. I'm catching up. I might have to, if I slow down the talking and you can speed it up, it might get to the same level. Maybe. Okay. The next one. This is I suppose I've got two sci-fi ones, but this is the main sci-fi one. And I remember when I first watched this sci-fi horror, I was like, oh, that's kind of disturbing. Actually quite disturbing. But I like it. And I like, a lot of people don't like this movie, but then people who enjoyed it really like it. Yeah. And it's Sam Neill. Event Horizon. I love this movie. When I first watched it, I was like, this is a bit freaky. It gets a bit weird at the end. With the eyes and everything. But I thought the psychological bit with you don't know what it is at the start, and they're, hunting down the Event Horizon, and then their ship goes Pete Tong, let's just say, and then they have to get on the Event Horizon, and then it all goes mad. And there's the bit that always freaked me out is when they find I'm guessing it's like a black box recording, and it's got that kind of satanic like music, like thinking about it. It's like, wow. So it is good. Sam Neill is good in this. He's good. Like how he plays that kind of warped mind is great. Like his acting skills in this, like I was saying, a lot of people aren't gonna like this because what it is, but how he gets to the end, and it's a bit very weird with like they all see their kind of past experiences, and all it warps their mind, and it's like, is that outside? Is it inside? Is it a pathogen? You don't actually know. It's just it's good. I like it. So yeah, it is good. It is one, but it's. I remember they did that. They tried to do one similar in space with Life, not so recent ago, and it just failed things. But this one I really like. Crinkle Drinker has the same taste then. That's me. Emily Booth. She talked about it briefly. Yeah, it is good. It's a good movie. It's quite intense. It is. Yeah, I do like. I must say, there's not. If you actually think about it, like Sandy, there's not a lot out there that are good, like bad Sam Neill movies. I like, every time you watch him, you're like, I like your movie. It's like good. And I always find it funny when you actually find out he was one of the pitches at one time to be James Bond, and you're like, ooh, no, not really. Chris Drinker has a crush on Sam Neill. You can't be Sam Neill. It's like, he does some good ones. All right, the next one, I think this is just a given, an absolute given that I put it there because the next ones, I think I've got four. Well, I've got four left, and three I would say is a given. But I was like, there's ones that are just out there. Now, you're gonna like Friday the 13th, yeah, just because it's a things, like Nightmare on Elm Street. But this one, I think everybody agrees, it's just there. It is just, yay, I'm catching up. It's just Halloween. Now, yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. It's just there. It's just I put it there because it's a classic. I like it, and I was like, horror. This is where I was struggling, but I was like, yeah, like, is there anybody who goes, this is a good movie? Actually, a good. Ooh, but again, it's not very horror. It's like even when the kid at the beginning, and you don't really see, you just see like sister, but and when he goes to like his parents outside, it's very psychological. That bit is all psychological. So this is why I like Halloween. I think because I'm guessing it is classed as a slasher, but it's not. It's not the slasher as you think, because it is all mental game. It's just like, when they like, you see they all Jamie Lee Curtis on the phone or something like that, and they're all like having the conversations, or like, it's one of those classic like movies where, once they like get a bit kinky, something's gonna go wrong. If they show a bit of boob or side boob, that couple is about to die. You can guarantee it. It's just that genre, that period genre. But this is, it spawned everybody, imagination on this to do this kind of, you can be a bit creepy, and it's all about the angles, how it's all done, that you don't really see anything, and then you're and then it's not there. You get around the next door. So yeah, it's great. The cinematography of this, that suspense of like, he's gonna be behind that door, and he's not. He's in that closet. Yeah. So yeah, it's there. It's a classic. Less said. Now, this one became into a TV show, and I like it. Every time I watch this, every time it comes on TV, I watch it. I do, and I don't think it. I think it's one of those underrated ones, and it's got a bit of, I suppose, what's it? Possession, devil, heaven, into things, and it's going to be a bit weird one. Legion. I like this movie, and I don't care. It's got a terrible rating. And I just like it. Every time I watch it, I was like, this is a good concept. I like this. It goes a bit things, but the best bit in it is when they're in this, like, I suppose, a diner in the middle of nowhere. The diner, like, they all sit down, and one of the waitress is pregnant. And this old little lady comes in. And if you've ever seen it, it's great. Because it's kind of freaky as, and that's why I like this, because all the kind of possessed people who are possessed by angels who are trying to get the baby, and it's all out because God told them to. It's all good, like it's things, but the creepy bit is when the old lady does it. That's creepy, and that was like my kind of movie. This is creepy, so I was like, yeah, the scene when the woman calls out the walls. That's the old lady. Yeah, so I was like, it's good, but it's all about the kind of survival of getting this, like, spoilers if you're not seeing it. She's supposed to have the next coming of Jesus or something like that, the next Messiah. So that's it, and then God said, no, we're not having it anymore. That's it, we're done. Yeah, and there's a play on it to find out. It's like a trick by God to find out what angels would stick to their right path, and it's like that. But yeah, Paul Bettany's in it, and I kind of like him in this. Just like a kick-ass angel, kind of like that. A lot of guns, a lot of zombies in one place. It is very. I would love to know the like the actual budget on this, because it is quite like, except for some CGI bits with the people's mouths, but like that. But there's some good bits in it. So yeah, it's not a good movie, but it's a movie I like down, and I can enjoy it, and I will sit down and watch it all. And every time I'm like, I enjoyed that. Yeah. But they made it like a spin-off TV show, and I actually didn't mind the spin-off TV show. But that kind of went awry. Nobody really watched it. But yeah, if you're not seen it, I like it. If you like that kind of heaven and earth thing, you know, I suppose you're gonna class it as zombies as well. You could class it as and a bit of guns. That's it. So yeah, it's one of my. It's in there because I like it. I like it, and I like it a lot. Okay. Right, the next one. Now, this is out of 3 movies, and I love every single one of them. And I put the first one in because without the first one, of course, you wouldn't get the other 2. And it's not horror. It is, but it isn't. And it's about a man called Ash. It's the Evil Dead. Now, I love Army of Darkness. Yeah, but I would say if you had to pick the better movie out of all of them, just for in this genre, it's going to be Evil Dead 2. It's a bit more slicker. They had more budget. It's kind of a rehash of this one, but this is great. Come on. So like, even with this, like Ash versus the Evil Dead, it's just that whole thing, and it's again, Sir Bruce Campbell, the sexiest B star ever to live, is in this. So I could not put this in. There's scary bits into it, you know, like when you first see, I suppose it like, I always class it as in the what's it called? Never Ending Story with the nothing coming through, and this. Now that used to scare me as a kid, and then when I saw this bit kind of reminded me of that. So it kind of that bit, you know, when they go through the forest, it's great. So that bit kind of scared me. That was me, not the mic. So that bit always scared me. Yeah, so I like that, and then how it picks on, you know, like that. There are funny moments in this. Yeah, there is, and like Army of Darkness is funny as, and like if you even take Ash and Evil Dead, it's funny. Yeah, but literally on this one, you could see they tried to do a horror, and it went a bit funny. And then they just went to just roll with it. And then number 2 with the hand cut in. There's silly moments, but it's still there. It's still, you have to call it. It's still classed as horror, you know. So it's there, and it's brought on, like, you know, the remake. There's a new one out as well, isn't there, of the Evil Dead, because it, you know, it's good. I can't, like, it is good. It's a good, and I think everybody's seen it. So yeah, it's a good. And I found this in the original poster. I was like, that's a better poster than the one with the arm sticking out of the ground, kind of thing. So it's good. But there's like, this does have some weird moments. The tree moment is weird, you know. But the possession thing, you know, like that, and like it was later ones like that. Brilliant. It always like that. Oh, is it hot chocolate? Oh, and the Army of Darkness. Gonna get some hot chocolate. Like, it's brilliant. So yeah, I had to put it in just because it makes me happy. These movies, I suppose, aren't horror. This is a horror that makes me happy because I bring it on to like that. So yeah, I'm most people, if you're a film buff, you've seen The Evil Dead. If you've not, go and watch it now. And then just carry on. And it just gets like the things. I would love them to either carry on how they finished off Ash vs. the Evil Dead, or even just make it into like that bit and then just do, I suppose you would call it Evil Dead 4, wouldn't it? But whatever it'd be called. Because they do like lead on to it could, that futuristic kind of thing could actually happen. Just do it. I'm happy to see another Bruce Campbell as Ash. Wait a minute, boomstick. Yeah, so Love it, love it, love it. Now, the next one is the last, and the sci-fi. Yeah. And it... Now, to be honest, I didn't dislike... Let's say it like that. I didn't dislike... they did a remake of it. And it's not great, but I didn't dislike it. But this is a... It's a classic. I'm going to say it. It has to be. This is a classic sci-fi one that isn't set in space. But it has aliens, I suppose you call it. And it's The Thing. You know the bit with the dog, and the dog goes... That bit scared me. Like, just like, again, it's creepy. It's like arachnophobia. It's like really creepy moments. It's just like, oh, this is just really creepy. It's just I feel it on edge. I feel on edge. So that's it. But also, it's got Kurt Russell in it. And I love Kurt Russell. Because he's not a great actor. But when he gets it going, you're like this kind of stupid, fast-paced kind of action kind of bits with him. He does it really well, you know. So yeah, if it's that, he's like got comedic moments in this as well. But it's just, it's a bit creepy. That's it. But I like how the standoff, you know, like when they like it can take over the bodies as well, like that, but not, you know. But it's kind of when they don't know who's who, and it's like that. Oh, that bit always got me. I was like, ooh, who could it be next? So The Thing, I like. It is great. My girlfriend's never seen it. So that might, I'll keep on saying it's going to have to be on our list. So yeah, it's a great movie. I love it. So practical effects in this one is good. It's like they went above and beyond. But I like the ending. I think the ending's a good classic. It's literally like, ooh, like, because you set up and you know what's going on, but like, is it there? Is it not there? It's great. And I like those, but I can see a lot of people not liking that ending because it doesn't give you closure. It opens it up. So like that. But I like it. It's an alien movie, isn't it? It's like that. But it's like about the next victim, isn't it? So I don't like, I'm guessing it's just sci-fi horror, isn't it? So, but yeah, it's a good one. It is scary. Like when you're younger, like this is what, 1982. So I saw it, probably shouldn't have seen it. VHS, sticking it in and going, ooh, what's going on? But I remember it scaring me. So that's it. But I think it's one of those movies, like the list. Probably I have to watch Arachnophobia again. But they all hold up. I've seen them all recently. And they all hold up. So this, definitely, you know, The Thing holds up now. That's what I'm saying. They did the remake in 2010, 2011 or whatever it was. Is not as good as this, because this has that fear factor, whereas that didn't. You know, they just went for aliens, pathogen, whatever, don't care. But this one, there's a bit of, again, it's how they used to direct it. You know, that kind of suspense. We don't know who's who, what's going on. So yeah, The Thing is my thing, my last thing. Yay! And we did a horror. So, but you're saying again with The Thing. Well, we've got The Thing, The Evil Dead, Legion, Halloween, Event Horizon, Dog Soldier. Great. Cube, Critters, Bubba Hotep, and then Scared of Spiders. Don't go and watch this movie. You actually go. If you're scared of spiders, watch it, because it can't get any more worse than that. I would love them. They should have done this movie in Arachnophobia. It's an Australian version, and everybody's just normal. It's just what happens. This is a daily occurrence. But yeah, it was hard because you can see horror genre isn't. I don't say like don't dislike it, but that's what I'm saying. I'd rather put on like one of the Deads. Yeah, what I don't class as horror. Yeah, like them zombie movies. I really like. They're not horror. They're not. But like the Japanese ones, I would class that as a very psychological horror. And they're some of the great ones that come out, like the original Ring. Brilliant. Yeah, so you've got those ones. If you want to go into Japanese cinema, horror, yeah, that kind of is really good. But yeah, I struggled. And that's why I put my hands up, because it took my time to do the top 10 of these, because, well, my recommendations, not the top 10, because I wouldn't, it's not always going to be my first tick in the box to put a horror movie on. Yeah, my favourite horror movie films are either psychological or horror. Yeah, I like the creepy factor, Abe. I like the creepy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're the Omen, psychological thriller. They're still classics. I'm saying I tried to get away from the classics, like The Exorcist. The Exorcist is like, when you first watch it, it's scary. The Omen, when you first watch it, is scary. You know, it's kind of that psychological, but it's not. It's a bit of a that kind of religious aspect that makes it, I suppose, a bit more, you know, like horrifying. You know, if they took that out, you know, it's good. So I try to get away from those classics that everybody's like, oh, they're creepy, you know, but creepy because of that. But there's so many. That's why I got a bit. Well, I was like, oh my god, there's so many off genres, and they're like, you got like even like the Frankenstein stuff. Like, they're still horrors. You know, you got like a creature or one of the creatures out of a Black Lagoon. You know, they're still that, and you've got some really good, like, I suppose, like alien ones that are really like from the 50s. You know, that are really scary, and like even before that, you know, that are like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You know, I think both versions of that are really good. So, but I took them out because I was like, no, but then I kept the ones on I like. So I did it, the ones I like. But it's good. I like it. And like, they're the ones I like. But again, there's not, I think, because there's other ones like The Frighteners, Michael J. Fox. I like that. And it has got a bit of creepy moments in it, but it's ones I like. You know, Lost Boys, you could even say, is a bit of horror. Vampires, horrors. You got even other ones, Witchfinder General. Yeah, so like, it's things. Dead Snow, absolutely stupid. But I like Dead Snow. You know, From Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah, it starts off one way, and then you have to say it goes into horror genre. Vampires, yeah. So it's there to like whatever your category is. So it's a pick. It's a pick one for you. But the next one, my next genre, is going to be an easier one. It's martial arts. Now I'm trying to think of a Steven Seagal one. You got to have Steven Seagal, but there are other ones. So yeah, so that's going to be a good one. And then I've got probably a genre I did it really easy, and it's musicals. And I did it, I was like that, because that's one I just went, that's the 10 I just like, because there's not many I don't like out of it. So it was just like, there you go, drop, gone, bum. But we're going to get there. We're going to get to the end. But there we go. I can't really say much about horrors, because it was horror to do the actual sort of thing. It took me like, you should see the list. I was like, is that one? Is that? No, is that? No, that's too funny. Then I just went, scrap it. These are the ones I would watch if they were on TV. And that's how I did it. But we finally got there. We finally did it. We got to the horror. So next ones will be easier. Next ones, because, yeah, they're easy to do. They're easy to do. I think, yeah. And then we're going to get to war. We're going to get to war. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. A little bit of fun for a Sunday. And I finally did it. Did it live, but we did it. Yeah, so give us a comments on your ones if you got your top. I know you forgot this, like The Omen. You know, didn't forget it, just didn't put it in. But the ones you like, these were my 6 ones. You know, it's on TV. Ooh, I'm not turning over. That's it. Or ones you're like, I don't watch it because I watched it once and it made me have a little pee. Yeah, but yeah, again, I don't class the slashers. I just don't like a slasher in there. I just don't find them interesting. So that's I know a lot of people do, but yeah, for me, slashers are a no-no. But I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, nice little Sunday with Stasis. Anyway, have a great day, everyone. Give us a comment if you want to comment, and give us a like if you want to like. As always, Stasis Geek out.